What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another GEST June match. Yes, they are coming fast and furious, and I will be here to bring you most, if not all of them. I think LD decided to claim a match, but I think I might just cast it anyway because this tournament has me really excited. It really is so very interesting to see all these heroes that we don't see in very much in any other scene around the world, in Dota 1 or in Dota 2, just come into the forefront of play. And right now, we have one of my favorite teams on the Sentinel side, Badburn, the Filipino all-star, hot rising superstar. They're they're rising like something that rises really really fast. Dang, those analogies too good. Can't get them anywhere else besides here. But yes, Badburn is on the Sentinel side, and I've learned some interesting things about Badburn since the last time I casted them, which was yesterday. But yes, you can learn new things every day. And apparently the Badburn player who plays this Techies is actually a stand-in. And in one of the matches, his Techies is so feared that he was first banned as a respect ban. So hopefully you can see a similar Techies style, which we just saw in the last game against, who was it again? It was against Mineski. And that Techies just completely controlled all the map, made the middle lane just a complete hellhole for Mineski to traverse through. And of course, like I say, Techies isn't, he's a very, very high risk, medium reward hero. But once he gets going, then there are very few other heroes in the game that can get you as devastated, get your supports as devastated in terms of cash, in terms of levels as he can. Because supports will have to waste a lot of money buying sentry wards, gems, all that jazz. And I mean, it's difficult to kill a good Techies. You can just mine in places where it's fogged, like here or here, and where sentry wards can't see unless you walk up the hill. But one noticeable advantage that Pino Dota has is that they have two crows, so they can just fly around and scout the vision if their sentry ward does not let them immediately see up the hill. But still, you don't really want to have. I mean, you're already using a lot of money to buy a second crow, so you don't want to have to spend too much more money on sentry wards when you could be getting other things like items. And in a Pinoy playstyle, which is very fast, very aggressive, very mobile, that relies a lot on burst damage and spells, getting tanky for your supports really makes a huge difference. So let's see how Badburn decides to roll with Techies in this lap. And this time we have Omni Knight, Chaos Knight, Queen of Pain, and Ancient Apparition up on the Sentinel side, along with Techies, the stand-in. Don playing the Ancient Apparition, Biabas on the Queen Pain, Inma on the Omni Knight. We saw Inma play a fantastic Vengeful Spirit in the last game. We saw Juten on the Chaos Knight. Meanwhile, on the Scourge, we have Art, an Indonesian team. They went for a very, very interesting lineup themselves. Let's just talk about it for a brief second. They went for a very wombo-combo, Fatal Bonds, Warlock, Magnus, Reverse Polarity, Vacuum, suck everybody in with the Dark Seer, Reverse Polarity to hold them in place, and then just own them up with the Leshrac with the Fatal Bonds. And they're really going for the all-out team fight. So we have Clady on the Sven, Dong on the Warlock, Vizard on the Magnus, Phoenix on the Leshrac, and all on the Dark Seer. I have not often heard of Art. I think Ritter Art is a Singaporean team. I don't know if this is a new team. The Ghostu Gamers tab said that this is an Indonesian team, but this is a bracket match, so keep in mind that they have done very well to get this far. Other teams were lost in the pools, and meanwhile Art managed to struggle their way through it, but they have a task ahead of them in facing the really, really, really really powerful lineup that is Pacific.Badburn, picked up by Pacific Esports. And as always, huge shout out to Ghost Gamers for putting on this tournament. If you want to check out other commentaries, you can check it out on ghostofgamers.net. You can find God's commentaries, and you can have a blast with those. But nonetheless, let's unpause the replay and get right back into the battle. I'm pretty hyped for this game. So, yeah, Magnus is a hero who's very, very high risk, high reward. I mean, even though he's a natural strength hero, I find that he needs a lot of HP. He needs at least Treads and a Vanguard, and he does need a Blink Dagger. If he can get those, then he'll be in good shape. But the problem is just getting that farm in the first place. Meanwhile, Leshrac, a hero who has trended so hard in Dota 2, a common first pick curse ban in the scene, hasn't really seen as much play in the Filipino, Southeast Asian Dota 1 scene. But I know when they tried to play Dota 2, or when they played Dota 2, even though they weren't as successful, Leshrac was con pick and con ban. So they definitely have done the research. So maybe Art realized, oh, Leshrac is a really strong hero nonetheless. Let's try him out in this game. Sven with the Magnus Trilane. Very interesting. Warlock solo. Not too sure about these lanes if I'm totally honest. Magnus needs a lot of experience. Leshrac doesn't need as much experience. I guess it really just comes down to the combination. And you want a decent level Fatal Bonds along with level 2 of the Warlock ultimate. And you want a high level Dark Seer. So these lanes, although they're not the most potent in terms of offensive farming power or harassment power, it's really going to do a number in terms of just getting the levels you need. But meanwhile, it looks like Dark Seer is going to be in a lot of trouble. Gets stunned, gets purified, but Chaos Knight, of course, having one of the worst mana pools in all of Dota, and Darkseer just waited for the last instant to skill surge, and so he can run the heck away. And a little bit of friendly banter coming in from the Badburn side, saying that they can't reach. Some secret innuendo right there. So it's all good fun, and I'm really happy that both teams seem to be enjoying themselves. This is an online tournament, played all over Southeast Asia. It's not like the GMPGL, which is a LAN tournament, if I'm not mistaken. But just looking at this bottom challenge, it's going to be really, really difficult to fight against a Chaos Knight. Will have no trouble at all laning against a melee Darkseer who has the Ion Shell. Darkseer went back all the way to the base, decided not to wait to salve. The clock just sounded, so Darkseer should be able to get back in this lane relatively quickly because he did skill one of Surge, but that means he doesn't have any points in Ion Shell to get any farm. So he's going to have a miserable time in this lane. But Omni Knight is a hero who needs a lot of experience himself. Ancient Apparition, a very, very common tri-lane hero in the Southeast Asian scene, and Warlock versus Techies. Warlock should have a pretty good advantage as long as he doesn't approach the Techies, but Techies should farm relatively unencumbered. But Warlock has very nice base attack damage, very nice attack animation, and can just really control the lane until Techies gets a nice level of... until Techies gets at least his Soul Ring or his bottle, and looks like he's picking up his bottle right now. So yeah, Omni Knight is a hero who just needs experience so desperately. Ancient Apparition, a hero that we see pretty much in every single Southeast Asian Dota 1 match, is a hero I like to get experience on. I mean, level 2 Ancient Apparition is blessed. I have firm belief that it is one of the 5 best ultimates in the game. Or Ancient Apparition Ice Blast in general is one of the 5 best ultimates in the game. But in this, I mean, the Southeast Asians run them in the tri-lane so often, and it looks like Queen of Pain is doing a nice job in terms of saving his blink to the last second. Blinks right into the middle of the trees, and that's going to leave Magnus to farm unencumbered, but no, he's doing some creep pull. So it looks like they're going to split up the farm between Magnus and Sven. An interesting choice, and I like this a lot. This will not only give Magnus the experience and the levels that he needs, but it also gives Sven a hero who is pretty good as a support, but really needs experience in farms as well. So splitting out the farm, I like this choice in this lane. And if Magnus gets enough last hits, he should be able to hit the level 6, pick up a relatively fast Blink Dagger within the 20-minute mark. And that's all he really needs, and a Vanguard. It's so odd, whenever I play Magnus, I always find that he needs so much HP. It's probably because he always has to be in the middle of everything with the skewer, with the Blink Dagger, with the reverse polarity. And whenever the reverse polarity times out, then everybody just immediately focuses you. And it's just not a good feeling at all. You know, Techies continue to ball curling, just setting up mines here so nobody can gank in from the rear and just blow his little head off. Notice how... are there any wards on the map? No, there are no wards on the map that I can see right now, but it looks like Darkseer decided to abandon the bot lane and go into the jungle. I like this choice. I mean, Darkseer is one of the essential pieces in this combination. It's okay if you don't really have a high enough Magnetar level, you just need that stun and then chain it with the Leshrac and the Warlock. But you really need a decent level of vacuum so you can get a good cast range and just really, really control the team fights from there. So getting enough levels on Darkseer is going to be extremely important. But right now, this is a very odd sight. A Pinoy game where the tri-lanes aren't facing each other. It's not really Pinoy game, it's a Southeast Asian match. Badburn is Filipino and Art is Indonesian. But a Southeast Asian match where the tri-lane isn't facing the other tri-lane and there is an 800 kills per minute. A little bit of FPS lag. Hopefully that'll fix itself. If not, I might have to pause the game and restart the replay. But hopefully this will not continue. It looks like it's managed to fix itself. And that's always a good thing. You don't want to interrupt the flow. Don't want to stop the flow. As looks like Darkseer is going to cut off the creep wave a bit, preventing his tower from being pushed. Nice decision making by this Darkseer, but he's going to have to be careful. He picked up probably at 1 point into Surge as well, and he's just going to sell if he's going to be able to escape very, very adeptly. And nice move by Darkseer, realizing, okay, they want to push my tower, I'll just cut off their creep wave, what are you going to do about it? And then Badburn just make the sad face and realize, oh, there's not really too much we can do about it. We don't have insane pushing skills. We have healing, and that's pretty much it. Meanwhile, Chaos Knight hides in the trees. Everybody can see you, buddy. Even that Sea Dragon can see you. And when that Sea Dragon can see you, then pretty much everybody can see you. But Ancient Apparition and Chaos Knight, both level 3, splitting up the experience nicely as Omni Knight is forced to jungle and pull. And meanwhile, Darkseer is continuing to crop the creep wave, just protecting his tower as long as possible. And as long as he has some mana for Surge, nobody can really catch him. And Chaos Knight doesn't want to waste too much mana. Cold Feet just gets completely counteracted by Surge. But Omni Knight is just going to throw on some harassment, and looks like Darkseer is going to drop the Surge. Can he get a hero block? No, but the Cold Feet will not be able to proc, and Darkseer is going to escape A-OK. Ready to fight another day. And just checking out Darkseer's gold, only 8 CS, but keep in mind this is Dota 1 and it doesn't count the neutral, so you will be able to pick up a Ring of Health right about now and keep in the game with regen, or you could just go for straight soaring, but it looks like he is going for the Ring of Health indeed. So he's going to be pretty difficult to harass, especially with an Omni Knight and Ancient Apparition on your side. Meanwhile, Magnus is jungling up with Empower, a really interesting build. Normally, I mean, we see Magnus so rarely. It's very, very odd. I might have to show Wog at this game because we see Magnus and Techies in this match. But Magnus, in the European scene, when he was played as a solo mid, level up the Shockwave and the stats, get a couple points in the Skewer, and then go for the Empower. Empower now has such a short cooldown that it can be casted 3 times. Before its first duration is up, but looks like Darkseer on the bot lane is going to be a lot of trouble. Gets Cold Feet, gets stunned. What were you doing, Darkseer? Oh man. As save is going to be called. Very unfortunate for the Darkseer player. Just caught completely out of position. Don't know why he was just chilling over there. I guess he went to cut off the creep wave, but nice prediction by the Badburn squad to just notice where he was and go and kill him. But anyway, just to talk about the Magnus, Empower is not really a skill you like to pick up until the mid-game where you can have some other physical DPS. You really want to get your nukes leveled up and get the positioning skills like the Empower and the Shockwave to just do a lot of damage. But when you jungle, I guess it'll really help out your jungling. It doesn't use nearly as much mana, and it has a much shorter cooldown than Skewer. Derp. But just checking out the farm of the Warlock, 26-2 as compared to the Techies, who has 29-0. So Techies is handling himself quite well. I would have expected Warlock to deny some more creeps because he has a very, very strong attack animation and pretty respectable base damage. And I'm going to rush the Aghanim Scepter. I maintain that Warlock with Aghanim Scepter is one of the most game-breaking heroes in the game. Like, every time you pick up an Aghanim Scepter, you're going to win your next team fight. Pretty much. And if he gets enough levels at the Fatal Bonds, then it'll just become a huge problem. But Techies, of course, with the landmines leveled up to such a level that it immediately one-shots creeps and just can destroy creep waves in the blink of an eye. Of course, Warlock cannot do too much denying, so Warlock is not going to have too much of an experience advantage over this Techies, who's doing a nice job in terms of bottle curling. Has picked up the Soul Ring, which is very, very common, and just keeping his mana always active. Like I said in the last game, if you are a Techies and you're not spamming, as looks like Quinnipian takes a fall on the top lane, gets Storm Bolted, and gets Split Earth. Nice combination of Chain Stones by the Leshrac and the Sven, as they were able to pick off the boss. As I said in the last game, a moment wasted for the Techies is just a moment you're never going to get back. Techies is all about disrupting positioning and just farming up, getting items so that you're not completely useless. And if you get items with Techies, is just so crucially important. You can rush around the map faster, plant more mines, spam more, just plant more stasis traps which can act like wards because they have such a long duration, and get a fast Aghanim Scepter. It looks like Darkseer is just going to be ushered away by the Omni Knight. Level 5, nice job by the Omni Knight keeping up in terms of the levels with the Darkseer, even though he's been the primary puller and harasser of that Darkseer. Meanwhile, Chaos Knight, 45-1, has picked up a Ring of Health, might go for a Lincoln Sphere or Battle Fury. Battle Fury will help his mana regen, and of course it'll give him that nice cleave damage, but his illusions will not benefit from any of the plus bonus damage. A common mistake we see in public players, as looks like Omni Knight, Darkseer want to go after Courier, but Omni Knight is just going to say, get out of here, bro, as he picks up some Sentry Wards. Meanwhile, Queen of Pain, after dying to that top lane, level 3, and Queen of Pain, this is what you need to do if you're in a Southeast Asian game. Shut down the Queen of Pain, and when you do that, you limit so much of the mid-game burst damage that the opposing team can throw at them. So right now, I mean, even though Chaos Knight and Omni Knight are getting pretty good farm and levels, I think Badburn, or I think they're not in too bad of shape, as Warlock is going to destroy the mines. Of course, I think it was 2 patches ago that if you kill the remote mines, they automatically detonate nonetheless. As since Darkseer was forced to continually be ushered away, this tower is going to be under a lot of pressure, and it's going to take the fall right now. Let's see who picks up the last hit. Shouts to Purge's Facebook. I learned that if you if your hero uh, last hits it, your team actually gains less gold, which I always had a sneaking suspicion, because if your hero last hits it, you get 525 gold, plus 200 for every your teammate, and if your team just last hits it, you get around 270 to 300 gold for each of your teammate. So in some situations it helps a lot when your team just last hits it, rather than your carry player to last hit it. But Chaos Knight picks up the last hit, should be farming relatively he's farming very, very nicely. 57 CS. Pretty low action game for a Southeast Asian Dota 1 match. But you gotta keep an eye out for the Warlock to pick up his Aghanim Scepter at a relatively high speed. Gotta keep your eyes on the Techies. He went for the Staff of Wizardry. You're gonna be able to pick up a 4-staff. Of course, that Staff of Wizardry can be very deceptive. It builds into so many things, like the 4-staff. As it looks like oh my god, just a massive amount of stun is gonna completely obliterate those Techies. As saves being stand. One of the trademarks of Badburn is just them spamming save. So I guess a little bit of friendly banter, just back and forth between both teams, as save is called. Meanwhile, Biabas, 12 in CS. Ridiculously enough, and Queen of Pain, like I said just a couple seconds ago, really want to eliminate her in terms of mid-game DPS. I mean, if you look at the Badburn side, Queen of Pain is pretty much their only burst DPS if you don't get blown up by a Techies, which is certainly possible considering this Techies player is quite infamous. But I like what Badburn's doing. They're giving their experience to the Omni Knight since Techies has died, be able to pick up a level 6, and you can get some items, maybe pick up a Soul Ring or an Arcane Boots himself. Meanwhile, Darkseer is saying, alright, my tier 2 tower shall not be touched inappropriately by your heroes. I'm going to cut off your creep wave continuously, but now he's got to be careful. He's being pincered on several directions, but it looks like Leshrac should drop an Observer Ward, but there's an Observer Ward on the Badburn squad, and Leshrac is going to take the fall, and now Darkseer has to get the heck out of there. Darkseer, what you doing, man? As the Cold Feet will not proc, just barely outside the range, but another stun by the Chaos Knight. Huge positioning mistake by the Art squad, and Darkseer is going to take the fall themselves. Despite Art just playing very nicely, I don't really know why they're there. I guess they want to protect the Leshrac to plant a ward there, but I think they should have known that Badburn had an Observer Ward there themselves, and now the ultimate insult for any support player, getting your ward immediately countered. And now you're just like, oh my god, I died. I placed a ward at the very least, but no, you just immediately countered it, so I wasted so much gold during that duration. Meanwhile, Sven is going to go for a very fast BKB. I like this choice a lot. Anything that can go through BKB on the Sentinel? Oh wait, nothing can go through BKB on the Sentinel. Meanwhile, you have several ultimates that can go through BKB. You have the Reverse Polarity, and you have Physical Damage by Sven, and you have the Reign of Chaos that can all go through BKB on the Sentinel side. But just checking out the Chaos Knight's farm really fast, picked up a Vanguard, which is a much smarter choice. Gonna give him a lot of takeability. I don't know why I said Battle Fury or Lincolns. I guess I just see those items very often in Southeast Asian Dota 1 matches. But Vanguard is it's a safe and it's a smart buy. Going to give him a lot of tankability, able to survive those incredible team fights that will surely start breaking out very, very soon. Just checking out the Warlock farm, about 1600 gold away from finishing an Aghanim Scepter. And once he finishes that, I mean, the team fight presence of Art will just be unrivaled by very few teams. But you can't put too many cookies in one basket. If Darkseer dies like he's going to do right about now, Ice Blast combined with the Purification and stuns by Chaos Knight, just going to melt him as Biabas decided to leave the top lane, being out harassed by Sven, and decided to push the bot lane, and this tower is going to take the fall for sure. So Badburn just, although they didn't have the best lanes, they didn't have the best time in their lanes, they're just making smart decision making at this point in the game. But it's okay if you're Art, because you don't mind getting in too big of a gold disadvantage or anything like that. All you need is one team fight, and you can immediately make the comeback. But TPs like this is how Darkseer is just going to immediately react. Surges in, but no, Badburn too smart to get back in the game or to stay a while, as Reign of Chaos is dropped. But I don't know if they can catch the Chaos Knight. That might just be a wasted ultimate, and that is a long cooldown. It's 160 seconds on that Reign of Chaos ultimates, and it's just going to be used to scare away the Badburn squad. And Badburn's fine with this. All they did was push the mid tower, did some damage to the top tier 2 tower, or bot tier 2 tower, got experience on the Queen of Pain and Techies, and bait out an ultimate. So just Badburn's decision making is really, really smart at this point in the game. And of course Queen of Pain farming all the while, but I think we have to watch out for this Magnus. He has picked up ahead of Midas first, so didn't go for a very fast Blink Dagger whatsoever, as Inma managed to pick up a kill on Art Phoenix, who is the Leshrac. I guess Lesh was trying to ward again, and Badburn ain't gonna have that. No sir. Now after picking the Leshrac, they might decide to go for the bot tier 2 tower once again. Meanwhile, Techies has pushed his lane, and now here's the annoying part about fighting Techies. You don't have that initial tier 1 tower, Techies can roam all over the map to start placing those sentry wards, or the stasis traps, rather. Might as well be sentry wards if they could reveal things. But you could place this, stasis traps, plant remote mines, just be such a total nuisance. And Darkseer has not seen a level in quite a while. And Darkseer is probably the most important hero on the side of Art. He needs a decent level vacuum and just able to keep everybody alive for the mid game with his Surge and his Ion Shell. And right now he's not getting those levels. So Art, they're in a bit of trouble, 6-2, and they are 2 towers behind, but still, all they are banking on is winning one team fight. If they win one team fight, they are back in the game. Unfortunately, they have to make sure that they win the team fight within the next 10 minutes if there are a couple more team fights. Otherwise, they're just gonna, if they take the team fight, they might not have enough damage to kill everybody on the side of Badburn. And keep in mind, there's an Omnia on the other side, the ultimate counter to most teamfight lineups. Repel, Guardian Angel, Purification, just so annoying to face against. Too bad this is a Captain's Build remake. I think Badburn most likely picked up the Omnite last, as looks like Darkseer just explodes with the Ancient Apparition Ice Blast, and Sven's going to teleport in, but gets immediately repelled, baits out a Storm Bolt, and now Sven is going to get Cold Feet to the ground, but Chaos Knight is forced to usher away, as Omni-Knight is going to be able to cast a Purification. So 1-for-nothing exchange once more for the Badburn side. Did more damage to that tier 2 tower, still not in deny range. So everything's going right for the Badburn, so it might be up to Magnus to change the tide of the battle. It's going to finish the Vanguard. Magnus needs to be tanky, but I think you really want to pick up a Blink Dagger as soon as possible so you can get those team fights while the other team is not too tanky. Meanwhile, Queen of Pain slowly but surely climbing her way back up into the farm, is bottling up, is only level 8, had a miserable time on that top lane like you already saw, but still, any farm in the Queen of Pain, she's such a strong hero in this current metagame in Dota 1 in the Southeast Asian scene that any farm that you get her will be extremely useful. Meanwhile, Magnus has to be careful. Very low HP, has only the Ring of Health. Queen of Pain just picks up Invisibility Rune. No wards scouting out that rune. Badburn, one of the trademarks of Badburn is that they always have a lot. Not only do they decide to employ unusual lineups, they are bringing back Shadow Fiend, they brought back Techies, but they always have wards everywhere. They have Sentry wards, they have Observer wards, and that's really a very, it's not really uncommon, but it's something you don't see as omnipresent as you see in other scenes, like the Chinese Dota 1 scene, as looks like Sven is just going to be initiated on once more, and Sven is going to take the fall extremely fast, picked up the Jango by the Chaos Knight, one more hit, gets stunned for the last hit. Jutan on a killing spree saved, called by Badburn. They picked up the tower, and Queen of Pain managed to pick up a kill on the Leshrac, so everything is coming up Badburn. But again, one team fight is all Art needs. Just checking out the items and creep scores right now. Sven is farming really well, but Badburn is completely out farming. Techies, of course, with the most farm in the game. 3,700 gold in the bank. Let's see what he decides to go for. He picks up something like parts for the Aghanim Scepter, only about 900 gold away from finishing the entire Aghanim Scepter. Might decide to go for a Hex. Meanwhile, Chaos Knight has 2,200 gold in the bank. Usually in Dota 1, I mean, Chaos Knight doesn't see that much farm. It's very odd, because at a point in time, as you see Warlock get initiated on Ice Blast Purification. Bye-bye, Warlock. Nice knowing you, brother. Sven teleports in, realizes, oh wait, I can't do anything against Repel. So this Omni-Knight pick, Inma again playing a fantastic support, but this Omni-Knight pick is just destroying the Art lineup, as Sven is going to take the fall. Clady, what you doing, buddy? Oh, Blink Dagger picked up, did not go for the Vanguard, and blinks in with the reverse polarity, and then realizes, oh wait, I don't have any teammates live. Shit. That's such a depressing feeling if you play initiators. I play initiators a lot. Of course, Batrider being one of the best initiators, Clock. Uh, and if you don't have anybody to back you up during the initiation, you're just like, well, dang. That's not going to be very fun. And Techies going to go for the Bloodstone like we saw in the last game. Going to give him pretty much unlimited mana. Has a double damage rune as the, oh my god, Darkseer gets owned by a Techies. Everything is going up Badburn's way, and I don't even know if Magical Teamfight will bring Art back into the game. If they win 2 team fights though, it'll certainly bring them back in the game. And that Blink Dart Magnus is certainly going to give Badburn something to think about. But right now, Techies is just going to control a map all over the place. Has picked up the Soul Booster. Is going to be able to pick up the Bloodstone right about soon. Decided to go for the Arcane Boots rather than finishing up that Bloodstone. Might have been a misbuy. I'm not really too sure. Might have just said, hey, I want Arcane Boots. I want to help out my team. As looks like a bottle was delivered to Techies. And it's not like Techies can't farm, like, extremely. Is not one of the fastest farmers in the game. Especially when you have the minefield all around you. It's just, I mean, you can make jokes about minefields, but I think it would be in poor taste. Anyway, we have Chaos Knight farming on the bot lane. Still a lot of gold in the bank. I think he might go for a Relic and go for a Radiance. He's farming well enough. He's saving up enough gold, so Radiance would not be out of the question. But here we go. Here come the items. Warlock, Aghanim Scepter, level 11. Gonna do so much damage with a pretty high level of Fatal Bonds. Probably max at this point. Darkseer, not really having too much of a good time. Has a Vanguard, so at least he can survive some stuff. Sven, does he have his BKB? No, just still has his Ogre Axe. But Magnus, along with Warlock and the high-level Vacuum, it's going to be enough to take a team fight. So Badburn really had to be careful for the next team fight they take. I mean, we've only seen one Reign of Chaos dropped, and that didn't really do too much, and that was before he picked up the Aghanim Scepter. And this team fight lineup, Fatal Bonds plus the Ultimate's just going to do so much work. But right now you can see how much this Leshrac is struggling. This is the power of Techies. Very few heroes can hurt supports like Techies. Has to constantly buy sentry wards all over the map, and then when those get countered, just gonna have to buy some more. It's such an annoying feeling to play against Techies when you're behind. Also annoying when you're playing against a head, or if you're playing against a very defensive, a very smart, turtly Techies. So Techies just one of those very annoying heroes to pick up. Definitely has his place in Dota. I hope that Valve certainly puts him in the game. There have been rumors that, you know, if there are any heroes that won't be ported into Dota 2, it would be Techies. But Techies definitely has his place, so I doubt any Valve employees will be listening to this cast, but still, please. As Techies managed to pick up a kill right here, killing the Leshrac immediately. Sorry I couldn't catch that. It's so hard to cast a game with the Techies because you can get kills anywhere on the map, but I'm going to try to do my best. But meanwhile, Ancient Apparition has picked up Earnest Show's Arcane Boots en masse. Queen of Pain almost done with his Lincoln Sphere, as looks like the Badburn squad is going to run into the Arts team. They're going to be able to pick off the Queen of Pain, a couple more hits. Oh, Blink is going to cool down very, very rapidly. It's going to blink out at the last second, gets purified. Nice. As Aghanim Scepter Bolt dropped so much damage. Look at the power of Aghanim Scepter Warlock. Immediately able to kill down the Ancient Apparition, and the Warlock Golems are just doing a huge job in terms of blocking the Iron Knight. Team fight lineup, such a game-breaking ultimate Aghanim Scepter Warlock. And one team fight, and looks like Art are back in the game. They're not leading. They're still very far behind, but they're back in the game. And Badburn, they have to watch themselves in terms of positioning. They can't just charge in without vision like they did right there and just hope to get a bunch of kills. But meanwhile, Chaos Knight is going to be able to pick up this tower pretty much for free, and everybody loves free stuff. The ultimate unifying force in the universe is the power of a free t-shirt. Anyway, we're going to see a mid-push. Remote mines are being constantly dropped. Going to be able to blow up the golems for a lot of damage. About 500 at level 2, 600 at level 3, and of course they can be spammed. Ancient Apparition Ice Blast, just so much gold damage. They can't even push down this tower. The golems are going to die very fast. As, oh no, he got surged, but he did get stunned for the last. Nice chain stun. It's going to be able to save the Sven if he doesn't run into a mine. Very nicely done. Oh, this Chaos Knight is just too fast, too furious. And now Darkseer, unfortunately, tried to surge away his comrade, but just got caught up in the midst of all the action. 2 easy kills, 2 kills for free, and now looks like Chaos Knight is going to pick off another tower pretty much for free, and Techies is going to be able to drop those landmines at will, push down those towers extremely quickly. And he's going to be able to pick up the Bloodstone very, very soon. Probably next tower. No, he still doesn't have very much money in the bank. No, he just finished the Bloodstone. That courier was just taunting me all the while. And now we're going to see the power of Techies blow up another tower. Bang! So Techies definitely has his place in Dota. I maintain that. And it's very... It's a niche place, but it's an annoying place. Very few heroes can also frustrate you as much as a Techies, either on your team or on the opponent's team. But keep in mind, levels might become an issue for our Leshrac, not very high leveled at all. But next time Random Chaos is up, which it should be up, it's up in about 20 seconds. The art team can take the next team fight. Of course, Techies is just going to continuously push the creep waves. All the tier 2 towers are down except for this top one. And looks like Badburn are going to focus all of their efforts on killing this top tier 2 tower and just leave Techies to control the map like nobody else. So Badburn can pick off a Roshan anytime they want with relative ease. And if Warlock dies, that's pretty much the end of the team fight and an easy tower. So Warlock has to take care in terms of positioning himself. But it looks like the Warlock ultimates are back up. Magnus has his Blink Dagger. Pretty short cooldown reverse polarity. I think it's 100 second at level 3. Relatively short for how powerful the ultimate is. Of course, it's tempered by the fact that its AoE is ridiculously small. And Magnus is not a very common hero. But looks like they're going to try to case down the Chaos Knight so fast. Picked up a Sage and Yasha decided to skip that instead of the Sacred Relic. And Badburn, they want to lure everybody into the same location, try to bait them into Techies' stasis trap. But it looks like Chaos Knight decided to take matters into his own hand, initiates, but a nice BKB pop by the Sven is going to prevent all that damage, as Chaos Knight is going to try to do a lot of damage to the Darkseer, drops the Rain of Chaos just for the Chaos Knight, but looks like Sven picks up 2 kills, kills the Omnite and the Queen of Pain, and now Chaos Knight is forced to go on the retreat. And now, team fights are just going all in favor when the ultimates are up, and they do have long cooldowns, but when they are up, the ultimates are going in favor of the art team. So Badburn might be forced to just play better. I mean, they're playing brilliantly at the moment, like in terms of decision making, but their positioning has just not been very smart in these last couple of team fights that they lost. And of course, anytime you lose a team fight, you're always going to be like, oh, they should have made a better decision. As Ice Blast is going to be thrown on Sven, get Shadow Worded up, but the Ice Blast is going to dispel all of that healing. Such an annoying spell to deal with, as Chaos Knight decides to cast his Phantasm. Let's see if he's going to blink in for the Darkseer. Darkseer gets stunned. Oh! Guardian Angel being popped once again, and it looks like Art decided to overstay its welcome. Here comes a nice team fight by the Badburn squad, going to be able to pick up the Magnetar. Oh, Chaos Knight does not enough mana, but if he just keeps hitting, oh, he didn't get one more hit. Magnus was able to speed away, as Techies can get an auto attack. No, he cannot, but the reality of such a ridiculous cast range, and here comes the Ice Vortex, and Magnus gets created for 444 damage. Nice chasing. Chaos Knight carrying the way. And just to go back to the point, every time there was a point in Dota where Chaos Knight was all the rage. Like, first pick, first ban in the Chinese, Southeast Asian scenes. And he always lost. Like, I only saw him win 2 games. If you look on Loomis's channel, if you look on my channel, Chaos Knight just lost a lot. And it's mostly because I don't know if he got enough farm. He was played sort of like as a utility role. But if he gets enough items, he just becomes such a threat in the late game. Just does so much damage, really, really fast, really, really speedy, and it's going to be really interesting to see how he transitions into Dota 2. The Europeans never really picked him up because they started transitioning to Dota 2 when Chaos Knight started getting popular. So we're going to see, that's going to be pretty interesting to see how he's going to fare. Midnight and the Courage going to be able to pick up the Roshan relatively easily, as Art can't really do anything until their ultimates are cooldown, and even then they can't really fight in the Roshan pit because Techies just mining the heck out of it. But yeah, it's nice to see a Chaos Knight winning at the moment. But keep in mind, it's never over till it's over. Take a sip of water. As just checking out the levels and the item progression, Warlock decided to go for a Necrobook level 1. Gonna do a nice job Necrobook, of course, one of the hard counters to Techies. You can't just kill the gem carrier. You can just kill a gem carrier, but Necrobook, of course, cannot be dropped, and it's going to do a brilliant job in terms of counteract those mines. Necrobook, a smart item choice by this Warlock, but it's going to be difficult to get that up to the level 3 unless they win several team fights in a row. Meanwhile, the Art team is just completely forced back in the base. This Hand of Mine is certainly proving it's worth keeping Magnus item progression into the game, and when he gets those items and just gets all that, gets his reverse polarity, all that attack speed will certainly come in handy as he blinks in. Rain of Chaos just melts. Ridiculous damage being pumped out by Art's team, but can they get a push? No, I don't know if they can get a push going out, as Inma died. Not really too sure. Oh, you died in that last engagement. As Chaos Knight did die. Who had the Aegis? Looks like Queen of Pain picked the Aegis, has the Lincoln Spare. Should not be any danger of dying. Has a haste rune as well, so she's just going to motor on out of there. But Techies might have to be a bit careful, as nice job by Badburn, and they're just wasting time of the enemy team, and Techies dropping those stasis trap. Place one stasis trap in teamfight, win the game. That's my motto when playing Techies. It's not really a motto, but it is something that can happen. For staff, Techies just being such a nuisance as they can't get anything pushed down during this duration, as Queen of Pain Techies are single-handedly being quoted by the Oni Knight, as Techies picked up a kill on Dong, the Magnus, or the Warlock. Warlock is pretty tanky. I wonder how many mines he had over there. Unfortunately, this isn't Dota 2. You can't fast forward or rewind back, as it looks like I missed another kill. Clady, the Sven, takes the fall. 2010 favored Badburn, and this Ice Blast perfectly placed, hits the Phoenix, the Leshrac, and an easy kill for the Ancient Apparition with the help of the Queen of Pain. So just every time it seems like Art can get themselves back in the game, they just chase too aggressively, Badburn just kite them, and then Ancient Apparition Ice Blast just does work. That's pretty much it. Like, as long as you have one or two mobile heroes with the combination of a Techies, and you have that global AA Ice Blast, you can get a kill anywhere on the map. Easy as that. And it's much more frequent than a global strat with a Spectre or a Furion or a Zeus. Pretty much whenever somebody is near a mine, and you have the Ancient Apparition Ice Blast, which has a 45-second cooldown at level 3, you can get a kill. And that's the power of the strategy. Get kills anywhere on the map and just control the map like very few other teams. But looks like Darkseer is starting to tank up. Pez picked up a Cloak of Defiance. Nakarook level 1 still up on the Warlock. He did die just recently, as Sentry Wards are going to still have to be scouted. Looks like Magnus picked up a gem. A smart decision. They're really saying, okay, I mean, we win these team fights, but we can't do anything if we chase, and Techies just kites us around the place with the Queen of Pain. So we're really going to have to pick up a gem and just try to get ourselves back in the game, one team fight at a time. Just checking the cooldowns on the ultimates. The Warlock ultimate is going to be up in 10 seconds, so Badburn, they're going to have to play this extremely carefully if they don't want to lose this next team fight. They're losing the team fights, but they're just winning in the chases afterwards. And I don't know if Art is going to keep falling for the bait, especially now that they have a gem. So let's see how Badburn decides to play this. Techies has picked up a Void Stone. He should have a lot of gold in the bank. Yes, he's going to be able to pick up a Hex in about 1,000 gold. And with the Hex on the Techies, he can join the team fights and just become a real nuisance. Hex, get the Stasis Trap up, and just immediately stun somebody if it doesn't get completely owned by all these ultimates. Leshrac finally hits level 11, only has picked up 2 bracers in 32 minutes. This poor Leshrac just not having a good time. Ice Blast is going to hit. No, it's just going to graze the Sven, that's it. It was just used for some harassment, can't heal anymore. And looks like Art might want to get a gank on the Techies, but Techies just playing so close to the bone, just constantly saying, alright, I'm here, but are you going to try to kill me? As a gem, Darkseer, a melee hero, decides to run in and die. I mean, he attacked the Stasis Trap. And Darkseer is one of the most important heroes. If you don't have the vacuum, then Badburn's not going to clump up and just get owned by the versatility, a Rain of Chaos combination. So not really too sure what that Darkseer is doing. Questionable decision making by all. The player, not all, as in all of the players on the other team. I think you get the point. But yeah, killed the Stasis Trap, got stunned by the other, and just blew up. Power of Techies, as Chaos Knight is going to get initiated on. Here comes the upheaval along with the Rain of Chaos. Cast your Rain of Chaos, bro. Here it goes. The Fatal Bounce. Fatal Bounce did not latch onto many heroes whatsoever. They're going to be able to kill nobody. Huge victory for Badburn, and now they can push pretty much unencumbered into the base, bait out the Rain of Chaos. Did they get the reverse polarity? They did not get the reverse polarity. That's something. But 160 seconds on that Rain of Chaos might be a little bit too much for Art to overcome, as those golems doing a lot of damage. Keep in mind that immolation damage does stack, so 70 damage per second if 2 golems are alive. Excuse me. And here comes Darkseer. Let's see if he manages to not blow himself up this time. And Magnus did a nice job saying, okay, we used the Reign of Chaos ultimate, but pretty much only Chaos Knight was in position to be stunned by the follow-up. And if I die, we lose the gem. And if we lose the gem, it's really bad. Techies is going to continue to mine the top lane, and here comes a giant teamfight. Wall Evolution popped. Looks like an Ancient Apparition manages to pick up a kill on the Sven, but Chaos Knight is going to get stunned. Here comes the upheal, but oh my god, Repel just doing so much work, and they're going to initiate on the Darkseer, but here comes the upheal finally taking into effect. Darkseer vacuums everybody in. Can Magnus get a wrist bloody? He probably already used it, but Jutan immediately kills all the Darkseer, and now Magnus is going to have to back the heck out before he gets smacked the heck out. As Warlock just gets completely initiated on a series of poor decisions by Art, and Badburn is a good enough team that they can take advantage of any opening that they give them. And again, power of Techies. If once you lose all your tier 2 towers and you lose a team fight in the base, you're going to lose probably, at the very least, 2 tier 3 towers, if not 2 racks. But it looks like Magnus bought back. I think he bought back. No, he just didn't die because he still has a gem. My bad. But all the while, Chaos Knight is going to beat down the tower, has picked up the Heart of Tarask. Pretty much impossible to kill at this point unless they get a perfect combination of skills up on him. Fatal Bonds, Reverse Polarity, everything in the bank just for the Chaos Knight. They won't be able to kill him, as Magnus is going to have to kill the wards, but he's a melee hero, and now he's going to be ushered away by a Techies. He does not have the Aghanim Scepter, but still you don't want to be forced death suicided. That's always the worst feeling in the world. Just waste so much damage on killing Techies, and then he just blows himself up. Meanwhile, Repel Chaos Knight don't care about none. He's just like a honey badger. He does not give a shit. As Ancient Apparition is going to get storm bolted, looks like Leshrac died. As Sven's going to go to the offensive, can he kill Dawn? So much of the damage will be solved if Dawn, the Ancient Apparition, dies, but Guardian Angel is popped, and they're going to go on the offensive for Sven. And Sven, Reverse Play manages to latch. They're going to be able to kill Inma, the Omni Knight, and they're going to do a lot of damage to the Chaos Knight, but he's just too tanky. They cannot kill him. Here comes the revival of the Queen of Pain. As Queen of Pain, here comes the Wall of Illusion. Can they get a kill on the Chaos Knight Ion Shell along with the blazing fast Chaos Knight? But looks like he backed up. That might be a crucial error by this Magnus. Oh, he's going to get the Shockwave. Haste Rune in the bank. Magnus picks up the Haste Rune. Chaos Knight is not long for life. And Queen of Pain is going to be able to blink out nonetheless. But still, they lost their melee racks. And Techies killed their 2-3 tower. So, even though they just won a team fight, Art just did. I think Techies has just become too big of a factor, and he's just preventing any pushes. He's more annoying than like a Tinker and a Furion sometimes. Because at least with a Tinker or Furion you can gank him, but if Techies places his minefield correctly, as Sven gets force-staffed into the mines, nicely done by his Techies player. Keep in mind, this is just a stand, but he seems to work very well. Techies, of course, played at the highest level, is pretty much just like a solo hero. Like a hard carry. He plays pretty much by himself and just positions himself. So I guess you really don't need too much chemistry. Of course, getting to that point is going to be the difficult part as we see Darkseer explode. And the Give Knight, huge critical strike, 654 damage, thrown out by the Chaos Knight. As it looks like they're going to go in for the Leshrac, easily kills Leshrac. They drop the Ray of Chaos just for the Chaos Knight, picks up a double kill. Can they get the Warlock? This would be pretty huge. He picks up the Warlock right before he dies, adding insult to injury. Poor Warlock did not stand too much of a chance, in with 2 giant, huge bouncers at his side, ushering the Chaos Knight away from the club. Couldn't get it done. But fortunately for Art, Chaos Knight did use his buyback in that last engagement, so looks like they're going to be in the game for a little bit longer, but we see the golems just get completely decimated. He does not have Aghanim Scepter. He's just blowing everybody up by the power of the mines themselves. But yeah, I mean, even though Techies plays similarly like a hard carry once he gets going, of course, you know, there's a point in the game where he's easy to gank, very, very immobile hero, and you really have to rely on your teammates for that. So you need some communication for the whole game, but once Techies gets on a roll, you don't really need too much team chemistry. Of course, I've never played a high-level Techies, so I could be completely wrong. This is just my educated guess. But just seeing how Badburn have played the Techies in their last 2 games, just leaving him by himself, and considering that this guy is a stand-in, still extremely impressive nonetheless, playing this well as a stand-in, and I mean, he's getting banned. Techies is getting first banned against Pacific.Badburn in this tournament. So yeah, I'm going to be interested to see next Badburn Captain's Mode game I cast from this game will be. But um, it's not looking good for it. We'll just leave it at that. And the second Roshan has to spawn, and once this falls, I don't really see too much of a hope for the Art Squad to get back into the game. Magnus has not farmed nearly enough. Only 99 HP. Sven's picked up BKB, has not done too much with it. Warlock's picked up a Necro 3. That's something. That's an item. He made an item. Cool. And looks like Warlock has a gem as well, so he's going to constantly wage war upon the top lane, but Techies, of course, has a lower cooldown as... I mean, at this point, even though Badburn must surely have an idea, okay, they're probably rushing, they still can't engage, because it's just a guess, and the risk is too great. If they try to gank the Techies, and there was actually 4 people there, then, you know, they lose the game, so... Just a lose-lose situation for Art. Can't get the Techies, can't kill their teammates. Vacuum gonna suck everybody in, but there are too many mines at this point, and he's just gonna destroy the creep wave. And meanwhile, Badburn, they're gonna push the mid lane, and while everybody's defending mid lane, Techies is gonna kill the top lane racks. As another FPS lag, but I think this game is close to over. Just one more team. Hold on, computer. Looks like Sven already uses BKB. Actually, I'm just gonna pause the game right now. Yeah, I don't really want it to be too laggy during a last engagement. Okay, here comes Sven. Already uses BKB. Has to get the heck out. Wall of Illusion not going to do too much as Biabas managed to pick off Clady to Sven very easily. And here comes CK just rolling on the on the Leshrac. Chaos Knight taking a lot of damage, but gets Guardian Angeled. And here comes Queen of Pain finally pulling her weight in this game and just getting global kills across the map. And Chaos Knight just cannot die. Oh my god, he was so close to die. How did he not die? How did Chaos Knight not die? Ridiculous. He had repel, he couldn't get healed. Was it tread switching? No, it's been on int treads. Wow. Ridiculous survivability by this Chaos Knight. 4k HP, not even at strength treads, and Aegis of the Immortal, so it didn't even make a difference. GG's called by the Art Squad, so what a game. Nicely done. Techies very viable at this point in the minigame, so GG called by Art. Not really too much else to say. I think I pretty much covered everything in this game. So yeah, please keep following, subscribing, following the stream. Play on stream some Dota 1 because Ningpong's computer is too crap to handle Dota 2. And of course it's much better to play Dota 1 with your friend, play games with your friends. So yeah. And of course, Fucking Luminous, I might be able to play Dota 2 with him. But yeah, thanks for watching. Here's the final score screen. So thank you for all the support. Keep supporting me, and I'll bring you more GEST June matches in the very near future. So thank you all for watching, and have a fantastic day.